When the impeachment process of the former deputy president of this Republic of Kenya, Rigathi Gachagua, began, Rigathi was determined that even though the Senate and the Member of Parliament will send him home, but Rigathi was determined that the institution of court, the judicial, will stand with him.
I'll be there at 5 for 2 hours and I'll put my case. In the unfortunate event it proceeds to the Senate, I'll be there again to prove my innocence by way of evidence. When I called this press conference, there was a lot of speculation that Rigathi Gachagua wants to resign. This is a man elected by 7.2 million Kenyans. How dare you suggest to him that he can do so without public participation? I have no intention whatsoever to resign from this job. I'll fight to the end. I have tremendous respect for our judiciary and the professional judges of the High Court, the Court of Appeal, and the Supreme Court. And in the professional manner they have handled serious issues affecting Kenya. The impeachment of a deputy president elected by 7.2 million Kenyans is not a small matter that can hastily be decided by a few members of parliament and senators and wish it away. I'll submit myself to independent institutions to get justice. And I'm sure, I have no doubt in my mind that I'll get justice. And this impeachment will be thrown out. And I'll carry out my duties as deputy president. That is why anybody sending feelers to me to resign is a joker. And I found a few people using my friends to come and sweet talk to me. Please, my friends, I don't want to become enemies with you. When you are given such silly messages, don't bring them to me. I have no intention. I cannot resign. I did not give myself this job. I was given by the people of Kenya. I've done nothing wrong against the people of Kenya whatsoever. I've worked hard. I've been very loyal to my boss, President William Ruto. I have worked hard every day. And I will not be distracted.
And from that, the impeachment process proceeded, and it reaches at the National Assembly.
To end divisive politics in our country, Rigathi must. To end the culture of impunity, conflict of interest, abuse of office, state capture, and corruption in high office, Rigathi must. For accountability, for there to be integrity in the political governance of our country, Rigathi Gachagua must. For leaders in high office to bear policy and political responsibility, Rigathi Gachagua must. For national unity, for the fight against graft to bear fruit, for peace and prosperity of our nation as one indivisible whole, one nation under one flag, one people who love their country, who love peace, who want to see a cohesive and working government serving them. Rigathi must? Rigathi must? I submit Rigathi must go. To end
it proceeded to Senate, and eventually Rigathi Gachagua was impeached.
Now, Honorable Senators, pursuant to Article 145(7) and 151(b) and 2 of the Constitution, and Standing Order 78-8 of the Senate has resolved to remove from office by impeachment His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, AGH, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya.
And now, after the impeachment, it's now almost 1.5 years. Rigathi Gachagua is out of the office as the Deputy President of this Republic of Kenya. And the judicial institution that Rigathi Gachagua believed and determined that they will stand with him, they are now proceeding with the case.
Apart from the documents, Dr. Gekonyo, you are here as a doctor, head doctor who was treating him.
Your Honor, that's why you called me, to answer those questions. But I've answered to the affirmative. I was the one who was treating him with my team. He was sick. We have data. We have provided an affidavit. If there's any further questions, we will provide it.
That's all, my lord, your leadership. Thank you, Dr. for coming to clarify those issues.
And Igonyo shocked the entire country that the man who kept asking the health status of Rigathi Gachagua by that time then was the President of Republic of Kenya, William Samoei Ruto.
There are always follow-up calls from relatives, parents, and friends. And in this particular case, Your Honor, I must be honest enough to specify that I did receive a call from our President asking about the status of the patient, and responded accordingly.
What did you communicate in response to that inquiry?
Well, the first time, Your Honor, I just said that we are in the process of doing various tests, and as soon as we have a conclusion, we shall let it known.
Okay.
But if Your Honor, you must allow me to say this, that when I said that, I had to seek clearance from the patient that was okay so to do, which he gave information.
Okay.
And that has really rattled the supporters of Rigathi Gachagua together with the Kenyans. Why William Samoei Ruto was asking about his health status at the same time is the one person who want to get him out of office. Kwani hakuwa na huruma hata kidogo. And guys, in this video, I want you to explain to you guys why that alone is going to make Rigathi Gachagua to win big in this impeachment process. In case this is your first time coming across us, kindly please take a minute or two, click that subscribe button, then allow the notification buttons to be on. Whenever we shall be producing a video like this one, YouTube will automatically be giving you a notification. Alright guys, now let's dive in. You know, such like things too. You know, such like allegation. If that's true that the president really inquired about the health of Rigathi Gachagua at that time that he was facing almost hell in his life, these things is very crucial. And from that, it seems that the president was very interested in Rigathi Gachagua'S case. The fact that he really followed the impeachment process, and even at the time Rigathi felt sick and was rushed to Karen Hospital, he was aware and he was following. That begs a very big question, meaning that this impeachment was not even some, meaning that this impeachment was not something to deal with the integrity of Rigathi Gachagua, but it was something that it was like a punishment to Rigathi Gachagua. And the people together with the government were very, 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 very eager to ensure that Rigathi Gachagua gets home, be it sick or not sick. I even listened to who is now the aspirant of all Kalau constituency. He was very clear that the moment Rigathi Gachagua left to Karen Hospital, they were chased out, Wakamila Tokeni Mwende, meaning that these things has already predetermined, even though Rigathi was to be impeached or not to be impeached, but the decision had already made Rigathi to go home. And that decision was made at the State House. That's why He was very keen, mpaka anashangaa na huyu jamaa si apone haraka arudi kwenye bunge atolewe haraka. Kwa sababu Rigathis feelings was something like it was inconvenience to him. Sana anashindwa si process tumeanzisha na tena you know, if you really followed that impeachment process, ilikuwa imepatiwa na holidays, and it was determined that by this day Rigathi should go home, be it any condition ingetokea kwa njia, hata angepata ajali akufe, the guy could have impeached him, God forbid. Hata angepatwa na nini, they could have even impeached him. So it was already determined, hata akuwe mgonjwa, hata aende wapi, this guy was going to be impeached. So from that, it clearly tells that that process was a process that had an end goal, and the end goal was that this guy must go home. It was not something to deal with the integrity that we could have talked about. It was something to deal with sijui that guy is not working with the president. It's not something to do with any. It was that yeye ni nyumbani na yeye ni nyumbani. I think the outcome will favor him greatly, and Ruto is now going to face it rough come 2027. What is your thought, guys? Drop it in comment section. And as obvious, in case of watching this video until this time and you haven't subscribed, kindly please do so. And actually, you can also give your thought in comment section, or rather also can share your feedback through the number that you're seeing there on your screen. And to that, guys, peace and